I guess self-initiated work and client work for 8VO was kind of very, very similar in many ways. And there's a lot of the clients we got to work for were not really clients. You know, they were providers of work, but didn't really want to get involved in the design process. I mean, everybody knows the factory story and the way that they work with their designers. Very often one wasn't expected, well, in fact, in all cases, they never wanted to see a design. So the first thing factory saw was usually a set of press-ready proofs from trademasters. And over several years, we designed a number of album packages for the Doriti column. I mean, having a brief is better, and having no brief is super scary. So I guess what we did for Factory was we kind of did what we wanted to do with typography in a way that we thought was not inappropriate for the music, but it was not to do with trying to make it echo or, you know, be the music. It was, you know, the two things being separate and recognized as such, but somehow when they come together in one package, there is a kind of a synergy. A number of posters for the Hacienda Club and for gigs for Factory as well over the years. Most of our work was only to do with language and the expression of language through typographic form, which I guess is a theme running through everything I've been involved in for 30-odd years. Very few of our projects ever had any ideas. There might have been ideas about how to use materials. For example, in this poster for the Hacienda 7th birthday, there's a luminescent ink, so the thing glows in the dark after dark, and that's a picture of it doing the same. And 8VO was a collective. It was about three people working together on the same projects at the same time. And I think that's really important because it sort of stops you being precious about what you're doing. It makes you challenge other people's ideas and have your own ideas challenged at the same time. And there's something great about knowing that the work isn't yours, it's actually three people's work. And to work in that way, which is kind of our starting point really, and something that we stuck to throughout the 17 years that the company ran, to a lesser degree when we all got to work on the computer, but still the work was the product of the office and not of the individuals. We had to find a way in the beginning, pre-computer, of working together. And that was done largely through working on full-scale mock-ups in real time and space, trying to get as close as we could to the original printed thing. But it meant hours and hours of work. So this 30 by 40-inch poster for the Hacienda was assembled over 2 weeks as a kind of progressive collage. And of course, in those days, there was no Command Z. So you meant to laugh at that point. You got to laugh earlier. All right, I'm leaving. No, sorry. So, you know, you rush a roll of 35mm film round to the processor, which happened to be next door to our studio. Or actually, it was next door but one. So go there first, then to the pub, wait for the film, take it back, look it on the light box, plan the next day's work. And these are just some shots of that nature that we took during the last the last stages of designing this Hacienda 4 poster. So all of these bits were made by hand, you know, cutting letters, painting on acetate. It used to take forever, so it was a very kind of slow process and the complete antithesis of, you know, the experience that we all have these days of, you know, working on the computer where everything goes so quickly. So that's the final maquette, and it's like, I don't know, 30 sheets of paper thick. Which eventually becomes a silkscreen print. I think the big difference between then and now, for me, is the fact that there was always a surprise pre-computer, because the visual that you ended up with wasn't the final design. The artwork was only a means to get the printer to make in this case, stencils for silkscreening. And the final thing was actually having the proof or the actual job delivered to your office. And there was always a kind of 10, 15, 20% unknown factor, which I think was I miss that, because you can now get much closer to what the thing's going to look like, with laser prints and inkjets and so on. So that was kind of exciting, and often it was terrifying, especially when it went wrong and you had to redesign or reprint because you'd made a huge fuck up. Oh, damn. Sorry, I forgot where I was. It's going to get worse.